What is going on? Welcome to the Pond Life YouTube channel live stream. That's right. It's Pond Life now. I mean, unless you're brand new, you're probably familiar with this channel being the River Life channel, but it is the Pond Life. The Lookout still around. We didn't change Lookout's name. And she is carrying the mail. We've got a package being delivered, and man, oh man, is she on alert. She's all right. Everybody's fine. I'm glad you guys are here. I've got Big Tank Hank as a special guest today. He's back in the green room. I'm going to bring him up in just a second. I just wanted to let you know that you're not reading your monitors wrong. Pond Life is correct. We've changed the branding art. We've changed the channel name. We took a hard pivot. River Life YouTube channel was outstanding. It started years ago when we lived on the river. And about a year ago, we moved off the river and have built a fantastic pond, a life-changing pond. I've documented that thing well. You can go watch a couple of videos about the Dream Pond and decide for yourself. But it's a magnificent koi pond, 3 feet deep, 5,000 gallons, 25-foot cascading waterfall. So Pond Life was very authentic, and it was the right move to make. It's more direct, fewer keystrokes. I kept the font and the color. A lot of the branding looks the same, just changed river to pond. So we're going to talk about that for the next few gatherings until we all get accustomed to that. And I don't want that to be confusing for anyone. If you like the River Life channel, you understand there wasn't a lot of river going on. As I was explaining backstage with Big Tank Hank, I'm going to be getting several dings. There's family issues going on involving my father's health. So I'm going to be checking the ding every now and then. No apologies. It's just the way life is. And that is happening. We got a great group of people just filing in here now. Fish Room Fever. He's a nice member of the channel and a moderator. So he's going to be keeping order in here with all of you wild party people. Lori Vinker, Guppy Guru, BJ Palmer, Science Gal Aquatics. Thank you all for being here. And we're going to get right into this. Hank and I, Big Tank Hank and I have been talking. And we're going to hang out just like the buddies we are. We don't have a big list of agenda. If you've not checked out the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel, you owe it to yourself. Check out the live streams. I love dropping in on this guy's live stream where he hosts other guests. We get to know him. We get to know his guests. And we get to see just what a great group of people this fish fam on FishTube really is. We get to carry on, talk about things we like, mostly fish related. Sometimes we go off the menu and it's not about fish, but that's okay because we're people sharing life together. We happen to have this common hobby, fish keeping, and we're just using this platform to bring people together, figure out how we can encourage each other. And, you know, I like to say, let's get as many of our ideas on our option of buffet, our buffet of options. And then if we see something we like, we just partake. We invite others. We share it. It's a wonderful thing. And I just ask people, you know, if you see something you don't like, don't waste your resources. Don't spit on it. That might be what the next guy wants. If you don't like it, move on down the line until you find something you like. But we want to make a safe space. Good job, Lookout. Good girl. We want to make a safe space where everyone feels comfortable adding their ideas to the buffet of options. Well, it's good to get caught back up here. It is about 5 minutes after 2. We've done the introduction. We've said hello to people. Aquatic Nest is in the house now. You keep falling in here. Thank you so much. Before I go to Big Tank Hank Live, I mean, this is big. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? My guest is no exception. Probably one of the biggest guests we've ever had on the Pond Life YouTube channel. So I want to ask if you guys will. We're not exactly prime time for a live stream here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, and we just had time change over the weekend. It's Monday. So we've got beautiful, great people in this chat, but I think a lot of other people are unable to be here at this time. So I want to ask if you beautiful people would share this with your friends on social media, on all of your outlets, and just get people to come in here, take a look at Big Tank Hank, what he's doing in the Fish Fam community. His subscriber count is approaching 800. When you see him in a live stream, he seems like a much bigger channel than that. He's a gregarious guy. He loves people. He wants to have a good time. He wants to encourage other people. And I want to encourage him by helping his channel to grow. He is currently not at the requirement level so that he can be monetized. I want to help Big Tank Hank channel to get there. So we're approaching 800 subs. We want to get him over 1,000 subscribers for the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel. And if you'll share this out to get people to come take a look at Big Tank Hank, what a great guy he is. We're going to introduce him here right now and let him tell you a little bit more about himself. But let's not forget, let's don't get wrapped up in the conversation and forget to click the clicks. Okay. If you're, I have my StreamYard up, so I don't know if we're getting any likes or not, but if you hit that like button, that's positive engagement. I appreciate that so much. Anytime during the live stream you want to go over and see the Big Tank Hank channel, do that. I've got a link in the description of this live stream for Big Tank Hank YouTube channel. Get over there. You know what you need to do. Click those clicks. Come back in here. Say hello to Big Tank Hank. I'm going to bring him up right now. Big Tank Hank, are you ready to come on board right now live, the Pond Life YouTube channel live stream?
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Big Tank Hank.
Yes, it is. And we're so glad to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on here, you know.
Big Tank Hank, for those of you, or for maybe there's some people in this chat, they look like familiar faces, but maybe they don't know you. And there will definitely be people that will watch this video later that haven't met you yet. Would you take just a minute to introduce yourself to someone who may not have met you yet?
All right. How y'all doing? My name on YouTube is Big Tank Hank, but my government is Gary Alexander. Born and raised in Hempstead, Texas, to a single mother, and we both lived with my grandmother. You know, as a little fella, I was a shy guy who, on the inside, I wasn't shy, but it would take me a while to warm up to people, and I was ADHD, so I had all these ideas and all these things running around in my head that I didn't know, you know, how other people would take me speaking on them. So I did a lot of things by myself, loner. But in the midst of that, where a lot of people would turn inward, you know, and become more recluse, you know, it actually brought more of me out. You know, I felt better. You know, my self-esteem, you know, it grew along with doing these things. It got to the point to where I felt other people would want to do them with me, such as how I got started in keeping fish. My best friend, we met at 4 years old, and we're both 48 now.
Young man.
I'm from a little town called Hempstead, Texas, outside of Houston. When I say little town, I mean little town. And people would say I live in the country, but he lived in the country. A place called Rock Island. They had maybe 30 people. And whatever I could do to get out to his house for the weekends or for the holidays, that's what I was going to do. His father worked on ranches. He worked like 3 different ranches at any given time. He would do hay on one ranch. He would feed livestock on another ranch, or he would service cows on another. But they always had ponds and lakes and things of that nature and creeks. So I always found opportunity to catch whatever that swam around in those waters and put them in boxes, horse troughs, wherever I could put them, I did. So going on, you know, growing up, I just always had this interest of things that lived in the water, because I was excited with how they could actually be alive in that water when I breathed air outside of it. So, I mean, I had this big interest in sharks. When I was in junior high, I did reports for extra duty, thinking I could have a shark in a fish tank in my house, you know, and later on found out, you know, that would be impossible. But hey, you know, a great white in your house in a giant tank, that's a good dream to have, you know.
That'd be a great YouTube channel.
Right? So to fast forward a little bit, went to high school, Hempstead High School. I played football 1 year, but I was interested in rodeo. But
Oh,
I've always been a big boy. Now I wanted to ride bulls. You know, a lot of people that don't know much about rodeo would think you would have to be big, strong, burly to ride bulls. It's the opposite. In order to be a very good bull rider, you need to be very small. Strong is still, something good that you need to be, but you needed to be small. But I didn't want to hear that. I was gonna try to ride anyway. Got into a little steer dogging, but falling off of a perfectly good horse at 30 miles an hour, after a while, that just didn't seem like a
yeah.
real good idea to me. So I had to find something else to do. So I started riding bulls. I was okay, but being for the size that I was, when you get to the top notch, big money circuit bulls, they were too big for me to be trying to wrestle. Because being that I was so big, my weight would always be something that I was already fighting it, along with the bull jostling me around. So again, I had to shut that one down. Went to college, Southwest Texas Junior College in Uvalde, Texas. Loved
Uvalde, hill country. That's hill country, right? Yeah.
Yep. Mesquite trees and caliche rock everywhere. And I ate a whole lot of Mexican food because Uvalde was maybe 50 miles from the border of Eagle Pass, and Piedras Negras was across the border in Eagle Pass. So I had some buddies who were from there, and I would go home with them on the weekends because I was 400 miles away from my house in Hempstead. And we didn't have a lot of money, so my mother couldn't afford to send me bus tickets and stuff, all the time. So I would go home with these guys, and hang out, go across the border. When I say Mexican food, oh my goodness. That's why I'm still stuck on nachos and tacos now. But yeah, now I went to school there for a year. I partied more than I got my lessons. So when I came home for the summer, I worked, but I didn't save any money. I was on probation, um, due to my grades. So I couldn't afford to pay for school. I decided I was gonna go to the Marines. So I enlisted.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
No, didn't quite get to service.
Oh, wow.
This story is long, but it's headed somewhere. You gonna definitely understand it at the end.
Keep going, brother.
I was there maybe 30 good days in boot camp.
Yeah.
About 30 good days in boot camp. And I had a ulcer when I was in elementary that showed up. I had an ulcer that showed up when I was in elementary, and it showed up in boot camp. But they were going to give me this injury prior to enlistment, honorable discharge. But in the midst of me being there, my drill instructors made me the platoon lay reader. Now, platoon lay reader is basically a minister. Nothing on any of my paperwork said I knew anything about God. Nothing. But something told them that I did. They just asked me if I knew how to pray. Yeah, I know how to pray. Well, we want you to pray for these guys, keep them strong. Now that gave me a one line, direct line with the chaplain. And he was one of the highest ranking officers on the actual base. So I'd have a meeting with him once a week. I'd get to call home to the family, which kept me strong. And like ergo, I would pray for my cohorts, that were having hard times, not getting letters from home and things of that nature. So before I actually got sick, on Sundays, you could wash clothes or you can go to church.
Yep.
So, I'm like, somebody else is going to wash my clothes if I go to church? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to church. Mind you, I'm from a Southern Baptist background, but the services that I went to was Catholic.
Oh.
So I'm sitting in there. I'm used to, the up-tempo, soulful music and the preacher preaching. Well, that's not what you get, in mass. So I'm sitting there, sitting there, sitting there. Mind you, I will start being stirred by the Spirit. Holy Spirit is what I'm speaking of. Now, there was nothing going on that I was familiar with that you would think would stir you emotionally.
Right.
I think that's where the basis of my faith came in. Whether I knew it existed before that or not, how in the world could I be stirred emotionally when there was nothing going on to do that? But I was sit in service and cry, just cry, man, what is going on? What is going on? But that was the start, the beginning of, me getting a acknowledgement of how I would live the rest of my life ministering to people.
Wow. You saw the light.
Saw the light without seeing it. I mean, I was like, how in the world is this making me emotional in here? And there's no clapping, there's no jumping up and down, there's no, there's no music playing. But that was just the relationship, the Spirit was letting me know I was about to have. That was me being touched directly.
Oops, sorry.
Y'all, that's the basis. I am a very spiritual individual. I'm not religious, because we know anything that you do religiously can become of non importance, in the sense of you forget what you're actually doing it for, because you're just doing something in vain repetition.
Yeah, routine.
Yeah. So I came home from boot camp, discharged. I just went about my life. I raised pit bull dogs. Tried to rodeo a little bit. I was gonna be a cowboy. That didn't work. Fast forward a few years, I met my wife. We have 3 beautiful children.
All right.
25, 20, and 18, or about to be 18. We've been married for 21 years. November 10th will be 21 years. So I'm about to celebrate my anniversary at the end of this week here.
Congratulations. That's a wonderful milestone.
Thank you. It's work, people. It's work. People don't do that anymore. They will, this microwave age, everything, if it's not instant, it's not worth, putting forth the time. But, like old school cooking, before there was a microwave, my wife and I, we poured in sugar, we poured in salt, we poured in pepper, we poured in garlic powder. Sometimes we had too much pepper in it, and you can't eat it, and you have to wait and find something else. But we made it work.
Awesome. Thank you, Bob Kaler, by the way, for that $14.99 super chat for Koi Food. Your support as a member is appreciated also. And we're going to get to talk about Koi here in a minute. But right now, I don't want to interrupt Big Tank Hank telling us about how he got where he is in life. And so far, it's adding up to be a beautiful story. I've seen some new faces pop up here. Big Tank Hank has been a bull rider. He's been a college student in Uvalde, Texas. He was a short timer in the United States Marine Corps, honorably discharged, but he had a prior medical before going in that they discovered. And you went to riding rodeo bulls, raising pit bull dogs, getting married, raising 3 children. You're about to have been married for 21 magnificent years. Pick up the story there and keep going, Big Tank Hank.
Yes, sir. And a little bit before I met my wife, I worked at a car dealership in town. Walked in the door, sweeping and mopping floors. Well, Texas suffered, like everybody did in 2009 when the economy crashed a little bit, when all the dealerships were going under. Well, Ray Childress, former player for the Houston Oilers, owned the dealership that I was working at. So doors were closing. You have to make a choice, make a decision of what you're gonna do. So I started working at a sheriff's department as a jailer. Did that for a little bit and found out, that I was not there to hold people, hostage or to punish them for their transgressions. That's what the system was for. But God had a bigger plan for me. Whereas now I work for Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and at the Wallace Pack Unit in Navasota, Texas, where I'm a sergeant, food service department. I run a shift, an AM shift, 1 a.m. to 11 a.m., where I'm blessed to be able to, on a daily basis, be something that those guys can look towards for motivation, look towards for direction. You know, when they're in there and it's, you know, it just seems so hopeless. You know, the family at home, there's nothing they can do because they're there and everything is crashing down around them, or at least it seems like it to them. You know, they always look to me, you know, for
So let me get this straight, Big Tank Hank. You go to work and you're the supervisor in the food service, but your employees, so to speak, are the inmates.
I have one every now and then 2 corrections officers, but for the most part, it's inmates. Maybe from 10 to 30 at a time. It just depends. And you think you have a food service establishment where the employees don't get paid, so they have to choose to want to do it, you know, and choose and make the decision to cooperate. Which I love the fact that they have that much respect for me and that I'm that type of leader for them, that I don't have any issues. You know, the stereotypical issues that prisons have, they exist. But for me directly, I don't have those issues. It's a pretty good
interaction for those inmates to have someone like you, an authority figure that also offers a lot of respect, and that can go a long way in their experience as an inmate, I imagine.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing that?
Oh, going on 6 years now.
Okay. And do you have what are your career goals? You're already sergeant. Is there a career ladder you can climb higher on?
There is a career ladder that how can I put it? As long as you stay there, you have your pay scale is already set. You know, it's by X amount of months. You hit certain criteria, boom, you get another pay raise. So you could stay there, but in my case, I can go from sergeant to lieutenant in security to captain, major, assistant warden, warden.
Wow.
Not sure if I want to go all the way to the top, but hey, you know, the door is always open.
Well, and it sounds like people have a very easy time recognizing you as a leader. So you might not have a choice. You might get brought up to the top.
Yes,
there he is, Big Tank Hank. Everybody knows Big Tank Hank. You need something done, get Big Tank Hank over here. He'll take care of it.
And that is a very, very real glimpse into my life. Wherever I go, people give me the keys to their ship. And sometimes, like when I first hit the prison system, trustee camp, you know, is where, you know, when you have model citizens, they're still offenders, but they've been a little bit better than others. They have, you know, area that they're put in where they get, you know, a little more freedoms. Well, it takes a little bit more management experience to deal with those guys because, you know, a lot of them think they're smarter than you, you know, and they have these freedoms. Whereas the captain that I have now, on my first day, she assigned me to the trustee camp without any, you know, past experience. And people thought I was a sergeant at the time. They would respond to me, "Yes, sir, sergeant." I'm like, "No, I'm not a sergeant. I've never even done this. I've never even done this before." But it was just, I believe in myself, and I believe in the gifts that I've been given, to the point where I just walk in. You tell me you want me to do it, I take a deep breath before I go through the door. But when I come through the door, the people on the other side have no idea how I may feel on the inside, because that's not what I'm gonna let them see.
You've got leadership skills. They come intuitively to you. I can tell. You probably had some great training too. But I've noticed over the course of my life, and I'm an old man, late 50s. I've seen a lot of people, done a lot of things. And what I've noticed over and over is that there are certain things that come easier to certain people. And that's what we're talking about here, is kind of a gift. to something you have a natural knack for. And then when you find yourself in any situation where that natural knack is able to be used or come to the surface, everybody recognizes it. A good example here is a singer. A lot of people can just sing without a lot of formal training. And then there are others who kind of struggle with singing. Well, it's the same with leadership. I believe leadership is one of these gifts, and you exude leadership. Just listening to your voice and the way you put words together, and you don't come across with fear or sarcasm or bitterness. You hear hope that is coming from, hey, I'm not scared, and you don't have to be scared either. There's no fear here. Let's just be comfortable together. That is a fantastic trait of a leader, and I think you exude that, Big Tank Hank. So thank you very much for being who you are and sharing yourself openly like this on YouTube, getting yourself in front of the camera. If you're in the chat or watching this video later and you've never done that, it's not a natural thing. You've got to overcome hand-eye coordination. Where do I hold the camera? When do I talk? What am I going to say? Am I going to be scripted? Am I going to go off the cuff? How am I going to organize my thoughts? It's like chewing gum and walking at the same time. When you turn the camera on, there are about 5 things going on that you don't see on the camera. You just see someone talking to a camera. But there's lots of, I mean, I've got a desk full of props here, a monitor, a microphone, lights, notes, a pen. You see me waving that pen around. And it comes easy to me. I got the gift of gab. I'd rather talk to somebody than be by myself watching TV. I'm a people person. I love this. I absolutely love it. I hope that comes across as clearly as Big Tank Hank's leadership ability.
It does. It definitely does.
Well, thank you, sir. And so now we know quite a bit about you, Big Tank Hank. Thank you so much for sharing. And now it seems also to me that is a high stress position, or could be. I'm sure you handle it very easily every day, but that type of position, coming home from working as a supervisor with inmates to direct in a security type environment, you might really enjoy an aquarium or something like that to take your mind off the pressures of the day. Is that one of the things that caused you to continue keeping fish into your adulthood?
Most definitely. Most definitely. When I come in, when I hit the parking lot, I call my wife and I talk to her on the phone from the parking lot to the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come in the house, her dog, Teeny, Yorkshire Terrier, he leads me from the front door to her in the bedroom. I kiss her and I go to the fish room, and I probably just stand in here, a good 15 minutes, the first bit. And I have certain tanks that I'll feed right then. You know, because the other tanks, they're gonna be fed, but I have certain tanks that I just go right to. My sparkling gouramis would be one. You know, because they just seem like they know me personally. But yeah, I would say, you know, fish tanks are my have been my saving grace in a lot of situations, because the energy that everybody gets from me still has to be recharged, you know, and sometimes on the inside, sometimes I'm shaking sometimes on the inside, and I have to, you know, do a little introspection. You know, I do a little prayer, and the tranquility, the fish tanks, it just slows everything down. You know, you get a perspective of, this is what you were seeing over here, but this is not all that life is.
Yes.
You come over to this side, you know, you this peace and this tranquility, and these, you know, these fish didn't ask to be in these water boxes, you know, and you have a responsibility to them.
That's true. That's right.
And yes, it's very, very calming.
Well, I think, I believe that's common amongst people who keep fish as pets. They are a fantastic distraction of the worries of the world. And I know in any stressful situation, if I'll take myself to the fish room and stand in front of an aquarium, it is the fastest distraction. It's better than TV, better than anything I can imagine. whatever it is, a tank draws me over to the tank, and then a fish or a group of fish draws me into that portion of the tank. And before you know it, I'm only thinking about how much I enjoy this tank, that fish, and why. It helps me along as a life enrichment, a life quality of life enhancement, to the point that I'm free to believe that it will help others too. And that's why it's okay to go on YouTube for me and talk about my fish hobby. It's made
Most
my
definitely.
life better. I think let me share it just in case you might be someone. It'll make your life better too. That's another thing I get not only from your videos, which I wish you'd make more videos. I like watching them, but your live streams, when you connect with people, that comes across, and it's all positive, it's all encouraging, and it comes from a life experience of, hey, this has made my life better. I want you to talk about this, see if it made your life better, because probably you have an ear for people who need that empathy, and you see how they respond to encouragement, where maybe in the rest of their life they're not getting any empathy or encouragement.
Yeah.
And you get to let them know they're important too. Am I on the right track there?
Oh, you're definitely on the right track.
Yeah.
There's a few YouTubers that I've like adopted as like my little brothers, little sisters.
Who are they? Let's give them a shout out. Go for it.
All In Tanks.
All In Tanks.
Ozzy and Tiffany. Those are my babies, even though they're grown. Those are my babies. I talk to them, I talk to them so
Good
much,
people. Good people.
So much. They, especially Miss Tiffany, she has such a zeal, for learning this hobby, for touching people, for pleasing people.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes we have to realize not everybody can be pleased.
That's true.
And not everybody cares about your feelings. So it's all about, in the midst of being joyful, being aware, just being aware. Responses, how do people deal back with you while you're pouring your energy out to them? Is your energy just going, but not coming back? Nothing's coming back. You have to be able to realize when that's happening so you don't lose yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, it's great that you catch that and can help other people with it, because if you look at these comments in the chat, you and I don't have any problem receiving that positive energy. People are just so kind in this chat right now. 13 people watching, all supportive, but people who don't have a live stream, who don't get that positive feedback, it's very helpful to have someone like yourself to say, let me explain this to you. Even though you don't see it on the right side of a live stream screen, there's support out there for you. And don't get hung up in the people who are expressing that they don't support you, or those who do appreciate you, but they don't express it. And you're just wonder. Right. So I think you do really well at that. So there's All In Tanks. And who else do you want to shout out? It's important in your YouTube career right now.
Bob Kaler.
Bob Kaler is important in every YouTuber's life, whether they know it or not. Bob's here today. He's a great moderator and channel supporter as a member. I appreciate having Bob around. I'm glad you mentioned him. Who else you got?
Candy Overhaul.
Candy Overhauls. The fish fam would shut down without her.
Yeah, she's magic. Some kind of way she's magic. Hey,
I know you can't list all of them, but either at this time or in the beginning of your YouTube channel, a few of these channels were very important to you, and that's the ones you're listing now.
And I'm gonna stop right here. The late Nathan Alexander. We have the same last name.
Yeah, you guys are brothers from another mother. Yeah, he was a friend of mine too. I cried real tears when we lost him.
Yes, sir. I did that.
I think let's see. He was a big supporter of my artwork. And
yes, he was. He'd have yeah.
And I think it was through Nathan that I came to know you have a daughter who's an artist.
Yes, sir.
And I checked out some other YouTube channel that her art was a part of. I love that. You gotta love Coy. Look at that, Big Tank Hank. You are a Coy man.
That's a birthday gift right there.
That's beautiful painting. You tell her I said so, will you?
I will.
That's fantastic.
And Bounty, Bourbon Bounty.
Yes.
If you any Bourbon Bounty video over his, I have to orient myself. Over his left shoulder is a painting that my daughter commissioned.
Yes. It's great too. I love that painting. Is she open to commissions?
Yeah.
People can now. You got the Big Tank Hank at gmail.com email up on your information here on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who wants to commission a painting from your daughter could hit you up with that email address.
They can do.
Okay. Well, now you've given us a few. We're half past the hour now. We're 35 minutes in. You've given us some insight now as to the channels that you're really close to right now for various reasons, and we all are. I told you off air, I don't believe that people, that humans are an island. We need each other, and we need not only to be helping people, but we need to be willing to receive help when we need it. And that makes us stronger as individuals when we work together that way.
Yes, sir.
And I want to remind everybody that we can help each other on this platform in so many ways by clicking the clicks. That's, if you're a creator, you know that's an emotional support when you see the thumb turn blue, when the subscriber count goes up, and you feel that people appreciate what you're doing and they're engaged with what you're doing. They want to support you, so you continue to do it. It's a big emotional boost. Also, non-emotional, I mean, the artificial intelligence, the AI, the algorithm, when those clicks happen, then the message gets broadcast to more people more often. It's just that simple. So it is, it's a click currency, and we are on our computers now. We can click clicks. Okay. I've encouraged you to go to the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel and subscribe, watch a video, like a video, leave a comment. Okay. We can help each other out by doing these things. I want to mention something now that I've noticed on a few of my videos. It may take a few days before someone will comment. No big deal. My feelings aren't hurt. But what matters is that is an algorithm trip. If someone will comment and the creator can give the heart, and you heart the comment, the algorithm picks that up and it shows that A, people are interacting with you, the creator, and B, you're not ignoring the people that are interacting with them by giving them a heart. And the algorithm appreciates that building of community relationship. So what we can do is we can just we watch a video, you go over to Big Tank Hanks and watch a video, drop a little comment, even if it's, hey, Hank, how you doing? Or if it's, man, those platinum super Dumbo guppies are awesome. I can't wait to see what you do with them. He's got an opportunity to give that comment a heart, and his channel is better because you guys interacted. So that's, I mean, the little things. It's the little things. That's free. It takes 10 seconds. But there's so much good for somebody who's working hard, hustling at a YouTube channel. Big Tank Hank is on my radar now. I'm going to harass him. I'm going to promote him. I'm going to do whatever I can until we get him to 1,000 subs. That is a huge milestone for a channel creator, and it requires a lot of effort. Some of you I recognize in the chat, you've done that, and you remember, man, that was a long way to get there. So we're going to work with the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel until we get him there. Some of the things that I did to promote this live stream included, I went to our fantastic Fish Tubers notification on Facebook page and dropped the thumbnail. All right. Now, first of all, I made the thumbnail and I sent it to Big Tank Hank and said, is this okay? Because I've got a growing belly. And sometimes if I show up in someone else's thumbnail with my big old belly, my gut hanging out, I say, man, can you tighten that up a little bit? Unless they don't ask. Now, Hank doesn't have that problem. I mean, you know, it's Big Tank Hank. But I got the check mark on the thumbnail. And once he said it was good, I started sharing it all over. The Fish Tubers, my personal page, my River Life Community Tank page, my River Life art page, Twitter. I mean, if you could share that thing, I shared it. Now, a lot of those people, I mean, we're talking about now that one. Oh, and my community tab on the YouTube channel. I go to the community tab. I share that with a little comment. Hey, I hope you guys can join us. Now, everybody that subscribed with the notification bell ring got that little extra post from Pond Life channel that I was going to have Big Tank Hank on the show. I mean, I made the thumbnail. That's for my benefit because he's on my show. Thank you again, Big Tank Hank, for being here. And the sharing, I mean, less than 15 minutes, probably less than 10 minutes. And even though those thousands of people that went out to haven't seen this yet, it did a lot of things. First of all, it gave the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel some shelf space. It's not going to be a stranger for anybody who saw that, at least for a little while. If they see it again, most of my community, I don't have compartmentalized social media. There's a lot of overlap in all my social media. So they're going to see that Big Tank Hank several times. Not going to be a stranger. Going to know that I've endorsed Big Tank Hank. Going to be safe to check out that content. That's called social proofing. When you do something, nobody wants to be first. But if they see it 3 or 4 times and recognize, oh, that's okay, people are doing that, then it overcomes a little apprehension. And that is the little things that these community efforts eventually compile to become something great, okay? It's like interest on an account. Well, you started with a few grains, but then when you kept working, you look back, oh my gosh, it's a very large mound of things now that you've accumulated because of your effort. And then effort attracts effort. Now I'm going really fast, but I hope as you listen, you pick up something that says, hey, if I want to help, if I want to make a difference, here are several things that Rax mentioned that I can do. And I've read in the chat, several of you already have. You've already gone to Big Tank Hank YouTube channel and subscribed. You've already noticed he's got several videos you want to go back and check out. And now I'm encouraging you to make a comment when you do that. Hit the thumbs up. It's for free. And listen, don't feel like you're a bad person if you don't. Time after time, I remember after someone reminds me in a live stream chat, hey, don't forget to hit the like. That's not offensive. That's effective. Like I go into every live stream fully intending to hit the like because I know I can make a difference that way. But sometimes, maybe most times, I get caught up in listening to the live stream and reading the chat, saying hello there. I forget to hit the thumbs up. So listen, it happens to us all. If you have a moment and you recall, hey, did I hit the thumbs up? Go back and check. So all of that to say, we, the Pond Life community, are on board now with the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel, and we want to push him to further success. He's already got over 20,000 views. Okay, he's got almost 800 subscribers, and it's growing every day. We're just going to help get him over the top. We're not giving him a gift. We just recognized his effort, and we stand in support of his effort, and we're gonna help him reach this big milestone. So I hope that's all right with you, Big Tank Hank. That's what we're going to do. It's about to happen. You good with that?
Oh yeah, I'm good with that.
I had people do this for me, Big Tank Hank, and I have not forgotten. And I'll tell you, I started a new channel, the Bird Garden channel. All right. I started it last week. Last week I had 0 subscribers. I'm climbing that same hill again, and it is just as steep as I remember it. So the Bird Garden channel, I want you guys to go over there and show my new channel some love. It needs it. I think 60 subscribers now. Okay, 60. So I need about 950 more to reach that 1,000. And it's I built the pond. I have the Pond Life YouTube channel. Now we've got the Bird Garden. It's a bird feeding station right beside the pond. I've put up some whiz bang technology, a 24/7. Look at that, hubby. Look at that. You got another channel? I'm gabbing. I missed that, Big Tank Hank. 11/10/99, hubby.
That's my anniversary.
Oh, okay. Happy anniversary. I was getting ready to talk about my technology that I have a 24/7 live stream of my bird feeding station by the pond. And I have a cable ran to the pond. I'm hoping to get a 24/7 live stream of the koi in the pond. I haven't found the solution to the technology on that one yet, but the bird garden is live. There will be some fish on there because that pond has been a life changer. It'll be the pond, the stream, the koi, and it's a single. I had a goldfish in there. If you've seen any of the videos, you saw my fantail goldfish, Peyton Manning, in the pond. He's been removed. It got down to 28 degrees last night. That was just too cold to leave him out there. So I brought him in. He's in the goldfish tank now. But what we've been talking about is support. I've seen names over here in the chat that I've supported, that have supported me. And that we're just going to recycle that support and ratchet each other upwards. So Pond Life is here as a supporter. Fortunately, we were monetized. We've got Big Tank Hank YouTube channel on his way, done most of the work. We're just going to push him across the goal line. And then my new channel, the Bird Garden channel, needs some love. Get over there and click the clicks. And again, if you like birds at all, it's that same idea. You had a rough day, watch this. But get your dog or your cat with you because they're going to love this. Watch these birds in the garden, in the water, on the feeder, and just let the birds carry away the cares of the world. Now, that's a tough sell to a bunch of fish people because I don't know if the birds do it as well as the fish do, but it may open the door to another community. If you know somebody in your family, your circle of influence that maybe isn't into fish, maybe birds are their thing, then I'm your guy. Either way, I appreciate you checking out that channel. Bob Kaler dropping another $4.99 super chat for Lookout Treats. That's my beautiful dog. All this talk about fish and birds, and we weren't talking about Lookout, the retriever. And Bob Kaler says, hey, how about Lookie? So I appreciate that, Bob, and so does Lookie. And she will definitely score some treats with that $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, that was my commercial for my new channel. That brings us to about a quarter till. We have been rocking and rolling. Big Tank Hank, thanks again for being here. Is there something on your mind concerning your fish room you might want to share with us?
Well, I have a pickle jar filter.
Love it.
That I'm trying to perfect. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all something here on YouTube. I have a million ideas in my head, and sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning, I just get up and I just do, and I don't turn the camera on. And I'm gonna try to get better at documenting because I
started carrying a book, Hank. When I wake up with an idea, I write it down.
That's what I need to do. Because I understand. I was telling my wife last night, I have these 2 ponds in the garage. I have a 50-gallon tote with my blonde endless in them, you know, with the sump, the 150-gallon tank, 150-gallon aquarium sump hooked to it. Well, I put a 30-gallon out there also. Well, all of a sudden, I wanted to move this pond from one side of the garage to the other side. So I took my son with me, and I told my wife, I say, see, this is the kind of stuff right here that the people that support me on YouTube wants me to pull out a camera and just document all of it. You know, but I'm gonna try. I will try to focus a little bit more. I have another pump coming in, have a heater and a power strip coming in for me to do some upgrades for that filter. And I'm definitely gonna document it because I think it's cool. And
I love the sound of it. I can't wait to see it.
And I want y'all to be able to ride along with me because you might want to do it yourself.
And I think that sounds like something that's adaptable. If someone put your system in their fish room, there'll be lots of tweaks and upgrades and modifications they can make so it was custom to their fish room.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Well, now you've baited the hook. We're all waiting. We can't wait to see that video. Now, how long are we going to have to wait, Big Tank Hank, before you make that video for us?
Well, I have a video up already about, you know, showing the prototype hooked up.
Oh, okay.
But I have to wait till next week for, you know, my upgrade parts to come. So
okay. Well, when you get that video done, if you'll send me the link, I'll put it out on the Pond Life community tab so we'll all know.
Okay. Most definitely.
What else you got going on in there? I saw those new guppies. Those are pretty sharp.
Yeah, a buddy of mine who owns LFS, and he has these platinum, these red tail super Dumbo guppies like in his pond, backyard pond, that he did no culling whatsoever. And so I went to his store 2 days ago, and I think it was a 55-gallon full of them. And there was a lot of beautiful specimens in there. And I mean, he's selling them like they haven't been culled.
Ah.
So, you know, I had to jump right on it. You know, I'm like, man, let me get it. I got 3 pairs. And I got home and 2 females dropped fry as soon as we got here. So that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, nice.
But I'm gonna try my best to do some hard culling. Now those culls are gonna go into my my mud guppy, 2 mud guppy tanks, my little 20 long. But I'm gonna try to do some hard culling to bring those guys back, because super Dumbos, you know, I can remember when they were hard to find and then they cost a whole lot. And then for him to just put them in his pond and just, here you go, you know, I believe that colony deserved to be resurrected. I mean, because they look too good.
Mm-hmm.
And mine, I don't know, the color, the red faded to the point in that colony where they were orange, but the orange is still pretty. So I'm not going to try to change that orange back to red. I'm gonna let them stay orange. So that's gonna be a whole different strain at the end of the day, you know, for them to be orange like that, because I haven't seen any orange. But the super Dumbo, I'm gonna try to get half the body and tail to be orange and have that platinum front end.
Beautiful.
And the Dumbo ears are actually blue; they're not black.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that'll be a good before and after comparison. Since you already put that video up of what they look like now, it'd be great to save that footage and compare as you successfully start your culling program. Now, you probably, if you're like me, I mean, my aquarium ideas grow into more and more aquariums. I have an idea for aquarium, and before you know it, there's 5 aquariums attached to that project.
Yep. I'm trying to go slow and sneak them around my wife, you know.
I do know. Yeah. Well, when we built the pond, we made an arrangement, and so she kept her word and let me tear up the yard all summer. But now I'm having to reduce the number of tanks, and right now I have I have 7, but 2 of them are 5-gallon aquariums. I did a nice video on how to turn a 5-gallon bucket into an aquarium, and I love those. They're portable is the main thing. And I've got 7, but I'm going to consolidate 5 of them into 1 extra large community display tank. No projects, just display. If the boys and girls get together and there's fry, there's just going to be fry. And then I'm going to have 1 very large, I don't know how big yet, however big the space will allow, goldfish tank. So have 7. I'm on my way to 2, which if I would have heard myself saying this 2 years ago, I would not have believed it, because I was at 20 headed to 30. But I got my pond. I gotta keep my end of the bargain. We're going to go down to 2 display tanks. Maybe we have a 1-gallon tank. I don't even count it, but it's beautiful. I don't know why. We have a 1-gallon tank in the living room with cherry shrimp. I know you keep some cherry shrimp, and it's just a showpiece in there on a bookshelf. And I may add here in the studio, I may add a betta tank. But as far as the fish studio goes, it's going to be 2 giant display tanks, and we're headed to fewer tanks that are larger, rather than all of the project tanks. So, but I got the pond, did the hard pivot on the channel to pond life, and I love koi. I want to try to get you to give koi some slack and bring them into your big heart, Big Tank Hank. I think they would delight. They're a monster fish. They'll get 3 feet long.
I actually had some about a year ago. Back back when the big tank part of my name actually meant something else, because I had a 60-gallon in here and a 55-gallon in here, and I actually had 3 koi, but then I had got this wonderful idea, and I purged the whole room, and I had nothing but 10s in here, and then I purged again, and now I have 20 longs. Well, you know how that goes. But no, I really, really do like koi, man. White, those
Okay.
platinum butterfly.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
really, really, really like.
Well, I've got a platinum. It's not a butterfly. I'm looking for a platinum butterfly, but I do have one of my largest koi is platinum. And in one of my last 2 videos, I filmed that thing underwater in slow motion on a clear day. And when those rays of sun hit that platinum body, it turns a rainbow of colors. It's prismatic. It's worth watching a pond life video just to see that fish in the glowing sunlight. Close up, full screen, some nice music. And man, I think it'll be worth your click if you go over there just to look at that fish reflect in the natural sunlight, which is a drawback to a pond only. I mean, I still love it, but if you only had the dorsal view, it's a little bit limiting, and you're used to keeping the fish in the glass boxes. You like that profile.
Gotcha.
So I am experimenting every week, every day, some weeks, of how to do underwater photography, because I love seeing the side of those koi. It's like you learn the koi from the dorsal view because they're in the pond. But then when you put the camera in, you get that profile. It looks like a different fish. So it's almost like you doubled your collection just by filming them from the profile.
Right.
But those last couple of slow motion videos, people are calling me asking, how did you do that? Because they can't get their head wrapped around it when they start watching from a producer's point of view. How does that happen? Because I tried with the selfie stick. That was pretty easy to tell. I don't recommend it, selfie stick in a pond, unless it's a last-ditch effort. I thought about getting in the pond. I didn't actually do it. I had my snorkel gear out, ready to chase them koi around with the camera. But I tried something. I'm going to reveal a secret here, Big Tank Hank, because you're here. I'm gonna do that. You've encouraged me. I took a piece of a pool noodle, piece of foam, and put a fishing leader on it. I don't know if you saw my video, how to pier fish. Can you even see that? It's very thin, black.
Yeah, we can see
wire when it's got a swivel on it. Well, I got the Sony action cam, right? Like a little GoPro. So I got a carabiner stuck through the foam of that pool noodle, just about a 3-inch section I cut off. Carabiner hangs down. This hangs on the carabiner. This goes down to the little action mount on the Sony camera or GoPro, the same difference. And the camera hangs upside down from the end of that and floats on the pool noodle. And the koi are so curious, they do all the work. They swim in front of the camera.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to. If it gets stuck, I've got a big pond net. I just kind of nudge it out of the way. Okay. And then in post production, I just invert that upside down picture, and it is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Gotcha.
And here's the big thing. My wife, okay, now, by the way, listen, pond wife, formerly river wife, pond wife loves the slow motion koi, especially the butterfly fins, and she helps me select the music sometimes. So I'll make an hour-long video, or I've got one that's 4 hours long. It's just relaxation in the koi pond, man. Sit down, turn on the TV, do what you do, relax, careful, you'll go to sleep. Because these fish, they suck the stress right out of you. They set you at ease. So that's what I've been up to. Hank, it's good to know what you've been up to. I'm going to give you the last word here. We got about 30 seconds. I don't want to step on anybody. It's 2:59 here in the East. We got Hank from over there, Big Tank Hank in Texas. We're building the community. We're making it stronger. We're subscribing to the Big Tank Hank YouTube channel. If you haven't done that, go right now and do it. You owe it to yourself. You're going to be glad that you did. And in the last closing seconds here, Big Tank Hank, if you want to shut us down, you can have the last word. Take it away.
All right, y'all. Not not to take it for granted. Love. Love, whether scriptural or not, whatever your beliefs are, love is paramount. Love is important. Everybody needs love in one way, shape, or form. Everybody needs somebody.
That's right.
Reach out and touch somebody, motivate somebody. We can tell. You can tell when somebody needs you. And it doesn't take anything away from you. Actually, it adds to you. It adds character.
Mm-hmm.
It adds a reputation of people knowing that you're somebody who is concerned, somebody who is empathetic, somebody who actually, doesn't mind taking time out to reach out and hug somebody. Rack, on my channel, I like to call my show an extended hug.
I like it.
It's an extended hug. You can give a up close hug. It doesn't even have to be extended, people. Love, 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 love. If you uplift the person to the left of you, to the right of you, to the front of you, to the back of you, you're going to be held up straight by those people that you held up. You never have to worry about what you're going to get because you've provided for yourself by providing for others.
No doubt about it. Thank you for that, Big Tank Hank. Thank you guys for showing up. That's going to be it today for the Pond Life YouTube channel live stream. We'll see you back here next time. Until then, why don't you get out there and see it, love it, and live it.